Okay. Ooh. Okay. I think my microphone might be going through now. And so that'll be desktop audio device. Can you hear you guys? Okay. Okay, this might be working
Oh,
now.
I just heard myself, but it was very faint.
Yep.
Okay. That's something.
Oh, I just heard myself, but it was very faint. There we go.
Okay, I think that's set up right now. Is like I like the audio levels and stuff. All right.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It sounded perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, sounded good to me.
And then let's stick. Okay.
Yay!
Audio and streaming's working. Welcome everyone.
Perfect.
Finally!
And
Yay.
let's kick off. Okay.
Alright. So, who's gonna give the story so far? Because there's two perspectives.
There are. I will let you guys tell me how you remember it, and then I'll fill in any details that I feel are important that you haven't covered. So, take it away.
We had previously managed to get our way into this hangar bay to take out a known slaver called Trex. We had a quick battle in the hangar bay, and we had managed to get into the crate thing. And last we left off, I believe we had taken him out with a stun grenade.
Yeah.
Don't know if we killed him.
You'd wounded Trex to the point where the fight was over, and then he'd escaped back into the ship, wherein you guys came in through the top of the ship, through overriding it through the console, and came in and found one of the droids sticking a stim pack into Trex, but he's out for the count.
Well, I can't speak to everything that's happened with y'all because I wasn't part of episode 1, but from Thrar's perspective, the story so far is Thrar Sunu was hunting a bounty, former companion Trex the Slaver, when he came across some misfits and was forced to join them to escape some speciesist stormtroopers. After running, they made their way to their mutual target. Now, there's a fight inside a hangar bay and Thrar is bleeding on the floor. I knew I shouldn't have gotten out of bed today.
Yep, that's pretty much it. So where we last left off, I think you guys have covered things for the most part, but where we last left off, there was, as we closed the scene, there was a large explosion from the entrance to the landing bay, which had previously sealed. I remember
Explosion effect.
Nori almost getting electrocuted or something to that effect, where you guys sealed the doors permanently, and you heard a thermal detonator exploding on the other side. Now, you guys would know that something like a thermal detonator going off is going to have an impact on this door, but it's not going to break it clean open because these landing bays are pretty well insulated. They're built to withstand starships going catastrophically wrong and protecting the city around them. So it's going to take a little bit for the stormtroopers to break through that door. You guys also had recently dumped out all the fuel out of the ship to stop it from taking off when Trex was going to enter into it. So, judging by rough estimates from what you guys know, you're probably looking at about 10 minutes for those stormtroopers to get through the door. And fuel, it can be pumped out of a spacecraft very quickly because you need to be able to dump the whole lot quickly in case there's an issue. But it takes a little while longer to be pumped in. So you're probably looking around somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 minutes to fill up the starship enough for it to fly. So that's the kind of timescales we're working on here. So you guys have just Nori's just come around the corner inside the ship and seen our security droid there and Trex, and I'll let you guys kick off.
Yeah, okay, are we still in combat?
I think we're out of combat for the moment because the droids are both down, and these two droids.
Isn't this droid okay?
This one has been taken out. This one you yanked out of the turret, and we'll consider him out of the count at the minute, as he was just instructed to be up in the turret firing, so he's not going to attack you, you being right there. This droid seems to believe that Vex is supposed to be in here, and he's not a threat at the moment.
He's missing. Is he
He's been
missing his
disarmed.
arm?
Yeah. Vex has 3 arms in his possession at the moment.
Yeah.
4. I have 3 standard, and the one in the back is
yeah.
holding the 4th.
Excellent.
And Thrar is over here in the corner, holding his side and cursing the day that he decided to wake up this morning.
You've had a good day.
Okay.
Did we roll the force die, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
We have not.
Let's do force points now. Destiny points.
Bugger.
Ooh, I'll take that.
1 dark side.
1 dark side.
1 light side.
I got 2 light side.
Did you get a dark side too?
I have 2 light side.
Ah, okay, that works out.
So, okay. There's so many chips on the table here, just for my own sake. We got our 2 default chips here. 1 light side, 1 dark side, standard at the beginning. I rolled 1 dark. What did Nori roll?
No, we got 2 dark and the rest are light.
Yeah, so Nori rolled 1 dark,
Okay.
you rolled 1 dark, I rolled 2 light, and then I'm guessing Jordan and D-Star rolled.
Well,
I rolled. I rolled 2 light.
I rolled 1 light.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Right,
only
so
2
shouldn't
dark.
we have 3 dark?
Why would we have 3 dark?
I haven't used
Because you
the
and I
default
both rolled
one.
1.
Yeah.
No, where's the 3rd dark side coming from?
The default one that we get at the beginning of each session.
I've never played that before.
I've never heard of that before either.
It's in the base rules.
Okay.
Is it?
I'll look
Yeah.
into that between session, but for now, we'll just use these 7.
Is that a Force and Destiny thing?
No, it was in Edge.
Interesting.
It was one of the first things they said in Edge when talking about Destiny points.
Let me have a quick look. I think.
Well, you know, the first rule is always the first one to go.
Yeah.
Who
Fuck.
plays by the rules?
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yep.
True.
Exactly, let's break this one.
So, to determine the current Destiny pool at the beginning of each session, each player with a PC rolls 1 force die. The GM does not roll a force die. I play that the
That's
GM
how it's
does as
running,
well to increase the pool a little bit. The results of the force die are tallied to become the starting destiny pool for that session. And it doesn't say anything about standard destiny points, one at each end.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I was sworn that it did.
Cool. Well, we'll use this for now, and we can discuss it.
That
between
might be a
sessions.
thing in Force and Destiny, but it's not in. I've never seen it in Edge.
Now, I haven't even looked thoroughly into Force and Destiny yet, and I remember that rule being in the Edge core book.
No, I've got the Edge rulebook in front of me. That's not.
Huh.
Okay. See if you
I
can
guess
find
I'm just
it between
confused.
sessions, Auto, and
Yeah.
we'll come back to that if need be.
All right. Well, I guess.
So this.
Let's see. We got 5 light side, 2 dark side.
That's pretty good for us.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right.
So at this point, Nori, you see Trex is kind of like crawling around the corner, and he's coming around slowly. He sees his security droid down, and he's just trying to take stock of his situation.
Yeah, so Nori slithers up and goes, "Stay down, Trex."
Well, now, that's not very charitable. You're on my ship, after all.
It can quite easily change hands. Stay down, or I will eliminate.
Well, I've got no plans to do anything dangerous at this stage, but I want to have a serious discussion about what you guys think you're doing on my ship.
And Nori slithers over, and he pulls out a pair of stun cuffs.
Okay. Trex is not gonna do this willingly, so I'm gonna have you roll a check on this to see whether you can get them on him easily. What kind of check will this be, do we think? Maybe, would it be an athletics check? Or maybe a streetwise check? Is streetwise kind of dealing with interpersonal stuff?
I think it is.
Well, since he's not going to willingly take the cuffs, I was thinking that possibly something more physical would
Like
be
a brawl check?
appropriate. Like a brawl, or like an
Yeah.
athletic.
Athletics, brawl, either of those is fine.
Both are the same for me, unfortunately.
And give me just a sec. I'll give you a difficulty here. It's gonna be okay. So he's pretty skilled in brawl. So it's gonna be an opposed roll against 4 green. So that's
4 green, jeez.
4 purple. But you're gonna get probably, I'd say 3 boosts here, just because of his condition.
Okay. I'm gonna flip a destiny point. Considering we have a bunch, I'm gonna upgrade my roll.
Yeah, go for it. And then you want your full
For
purple.
success, 5 advantage.
Cool. Roll these.
Oh, we have the automatic dice rollers here.
So what we got?
All but one of my advantages was taken out.
Okay, so you get him bound up without much of a struggle, and he's now restrained. He's not going anywhere.
At this point, can I see what's behind him? Like in this
Absolutely.
area?
Yeah. So you want to take a look into these they're like prisoner cages up here, and if you go over and have a look, we'll get rid of this zone here, and you see a slave, a male weequay, who is in a cage. As you go over towards him, Trex is like, "Hey, you keep your hands off my prisoner."
And
Don't touch the
Nori,
merchandise.
Nori turns back and goes, "You're my prisoner now."
There's still an order to things. Nothing says prisoners can't have prisoners.
Nori is going to pat Trex down to see whether he can find a key.
Sure. Yeah. You don't find a key on him, but the controls are just on the wall here.
Okay.
So you can open up
And-
the cage. The weequay is currently not conscious, but you can try and it will be simple enough to wake him up if you want to.
Yeah, no. Nori's immediately going over to the button, pressing it, and then
Cool.
trying to get this guy out. Actually, no. Yeah, he's going to get this guy out, put him to one side, and then he's going to pick up Trex and put him into the cage
Okay. Sure.
and press the button to seal it again.
So Trex isn't. He's not going to put up a fight at this stage. He's cuffed. You can move him around easily enough.
And Nori turns to look out of the doorway and goes, "Right, we're all clear."
Okay. So you guys, you're on a clock here. So this has probably taken a couple of minutes, kind of thing. So just be aware of that you need to be getting on.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to refer to them to those guys.
Sure.
Um,
If you guys
While
want
this
to be
is-
doing it at the same time, yeah, go ahead.
while this is going on, Thrars is going to kind of limp around into the main area here and look around for a med pack or a stim, something to heal up his wounds.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, wait, doesn't he have like a natural regeneration? Yeah.
There'll be is there a natural regeneration talent or something?
Oh yeah. Oh, but that only requires natural rest or back the tank.
Yeah. You guys
So,
aren't
like,
resting at this stage.
No, we don't have time to rest.
No, but you can look around. The ship's got medical supplies, so you can find a med pack quite easily.
Yeah, so he's just gonna kind of dig around here for a med pack.
Nori's going to look over at Fra and go, "Isn't the droid a doctor? Maybe we can get him inside and have him check you out." Or Zaun, I guess, because he's looking down at himself and he goes, "Ugh, yeah, I'm looking a bit worse for wear too."
So that's what you guys are doing. Slack, what are you up to?
Since this droid's no longer in the turret, I'm going to just like go up in the turret and like have a look at this door, just see what I can see.
Sure. So you get up there, you start familiarizing yourself with the controls and that kind of thing. The door, it's starting to the explosion you heard has started to form some cracks in the door. But it's going to take a bit more firepower than a single thermal detonator to get through there.
Okay.
You're
After
unsure
seeing that-
what's going on the other side.
After seeing that, I'm going to comms to Vex and just be like, "You might want to get inside, droid, if you know what's good for you."
So Vex, what have you been up to during this time?
Yeah, so as soon as I heard the explosion, I'm going to start tinkering with the computer to try to reverse the fuel flow
Excellent.
and pump it as fast as I can back into the ship.
Very sensible. So you're last session you were already logged into the system with Trex's credentials. So I'm gonna have you make a computers check here to see whether you can increase the speed of fuel transfer back in the system. This is going to be a hard check, I think.
Hard is
3 purple.
3.
3 purple. Okay. And do I get a boost because they're Trandoshan?
Wondering how long it had been until that was said. I was waiting for that for a while.
Excellent. No Trandoshan boosts, unfortunately.
Yet.
Oh, okay.
Complete negative.
So this was
Yikes.
to see whether you could speed it up. So it's trivial to get the fuel pumping. There's no issue there. But unfortunately, you don't get any benefit in terms of saving time. So you look at the thing and it says it's going to take about 20 minutes to get the craft fully fueled up. And you know that this kind of a ship can... to get
That's
you
a lot of
guys
fuel.
off planet and stuff, you need like maybe half a tank or something.
Okay. Cool. So then, yeah, when he calms me, I'm going to calm back. Fuel's pumping. Cover me. I'm running for the ship.
Cool.
Copy that.
Unplug.
Just kind of some meta talk here with Slack. My gunnery is slightly better than yours. Do you want me to? You want to
Maybe.
trade guns? You want to
Yeah,
trade
maybe
off
worth
or?
Yeah, it might be worth you hopping around here just because you're gunnery.
Yeah. So I guess in character, Thrar is just gonna limp over to the thing and go, youngling, have you used a turret before?
Park and looks you up and down. Like, are you in any state to use the turret right now, old man?
It does not take physical stability to move a gun from a starship.
Fine. If you want to take the gun, go ahead.
So we kind of swap off spots with the gun, and Thrar just gets a feel for how the calibration is, and and promptly points the gun at the door.
Yeah, very sensible. So we'll skip forward just a touch until Vex is coming into the ship. How are you planning to get on board?
The front landing is down?
I believe the front landing was closed behind Trex and his droids. Everyone else has come through the top, through this elevator.
Ooh.
Yeah, they climbed up the thing.
Oh, isn't there a ladder here?
Nori is right next to the front entrance.
Yeah. So I guess when I get about here next to the engines and I see that they're still cold, I'm going to try like an open comms channel.
Yeah.
Hey, can somebody lower the ramp and warm up the engines?
Yeah, Nori goes, I can open the ramp.
It's trivial.
I haven't flown anything before. I can try.
And then, can I walk under the ship? Is there enough room down there? Okay.
There's just the few big feet to avoid. But beyond that, so Nori, you get the ramp open. It's just controlled by the door. You get that open fine.
All right, keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to come in through the freight loading chamber. You can come through the standard boarding ramp if you want.
Or the roof, like everyone else did.
Or come through the roof.
So
Level up, come through the roof.
About this point,
Whatever
you guys hear another big cracking explosion. And Thra, you're looking out towards the door. And you're seeing the door's starting to crumble slightly now.
Hurry along, droid. Move faster, they're almost through.
Whilst the droid's getting on the ship, I'm going to head to the cockpit and try and turn the engines on with my limited experience.
Okay, let's take a quick look at your stats.
It's
See
not
whether
good.
This needs to be
Too
a
green.
challenge or
Yeah, like
not. Okay.
me and Nori and Fra are probably the only ones that have the
Anyone
dice.
else, but everyone else, like, feel free to barge past me.
Yeah, Nori is slithering past and going, I've had a limited experience in civilian craft. I I wish I had gone down that path and then he stops, just gets into the seat and starts powering up.
Sure. So in a YT like this, we've got a pilot and a co-pilot seat, so you guys can both hop on in.
Guess I'll hop in the co-pilot.
You
Yeah.
guys can start warming the engines up and get yourself familiarized.
Yeah, he's sort of coiling around the seat like, they didn't really make these seats for me and mine.
We'll get you a seat someday.
Cool. So Vex, you come up the freight loading ramp. You see a weakway passed out off to your left. A droid demolished in front of you, just shot to pieces, and a Trandoshan in cuffs and in a cage.
Oh dear, I see a lot of work in my future. All right, I'll hit the button to close the ramp and comm.
Cool.
I'm on board. We probably need a little bit more fuel, and then we can go.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Doctor, can you fix up the Trandoshan in the Fra? I don't know if we were really introduced.
I don't think y'all would know his name right now. I don't think I
That's-
mentioned it last time, so just
Sure.
say the guy in the gun.
Fix
Yeah.
up the old timer.
Last time I saw him, he was looking pretty injured.
Affirmative. I'll see what I can do. And I'll go looking for the gun.
Cool.
Just gets lost. Or bleeds out.
Nori and Slack, you're looking at the gauges and seeing the fuel inching up. But in your limited experience, you probably know that this isn't currently enough to take off with this ship.
Yeah, so he's just like, this needs to go quick.
We'll be fine.
At this point, you guys hear a third thermal detonator go off, and the door at this point is crumbling, and you see stormtroopers start pushing bits of it out the way, and you see a couple of stormtroopers start pushing their way into the door.
I'm sure that explosion was nothing. We'll be fine.
Imperials on the way.
Fine. We'll be fine.
So Thrar's just heating up the guns and and just preparing himself for combat.
Sure.
And I'll call up the ladder. Do you need medical assistance?
Yes. Give me a stim pack to the leg if you can.
Which one?
Either.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter right
He's
currently.
not got 4 arms like you. He's not really got much choice. It's 50-50.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can assume that stim packs, if you just shove it into someone, it'll like spread through the body.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's like a general healing.
But I have a
Yeah.
really strong left leg.
Nori is going to stick his dueling blasters. He's going to stick a cable onto the ends of them, so he's charging them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can reload.
Sure.
All right. So would that be a medicine check to shoot him up?
With a stim pack, it's basically a maneuver.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a maneuver to take them out, and then incidental to stab.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys found a med pack here, but you've got your own stim packs.
I would look to see if you have stim pack specialization in your talent, because that will increase the wounds that he heals.
I have a bit of a
don't
crazy
think I'm that
question,
far
but did
yet.
we end the last session with E11s?
We did get some E11s from the
We
stormtroopers.
did.
I think you've got 3, maybe.
I think I had one, I just can't remember.
I picked one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked one up
And
as well.
belts.
And we
Well,
have belt.
We'll say you can all have one, if need be. There was some shenanigans with a with over encumbrance and carrying stuff in a bucket head, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
someone's carrying a bucket of grenades.
That was Nori.
Excellent. I hope you stowed that.
Oh, yeah, no, that would have probably been placed somewhere about.
It's behind us. It's on the other seat probably
Yeah.
in the cockpit.
Good stuff. Right. So Vex, you're healing up, Thra.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. What would I like? Do I need to make any rolls, or is it just Vex?
How does Stimpaks work? Isn't it just a flat healing
It's
bonus?
it's flat healing, yeah.
Hmm.
And then if you wanted to use the med pack to medicine him to heal more, that's a medicine.
That's
So
probably outside the scope of the time you've got at the minute.
Yeah, it looks like I've got a needle applicator for stims, and it says the stim heals like 5 and then 4 and then 3. Like each time it goes down. Is that per person or is that per stim?
So
That's
that,
per person.
yeah,
Okay.
Stims,
it's the chemicals having less of an effect on your body
yeah,
That's
throughout the day.
stims are one use. So once you've used them, that's it.
okay. So yeah, if this is the first time I've stuck him, that'd be 5.
So you don't have any special talents in Stimpack specialization?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have surgeon, which I don't think actually does.
No, surgeons for medicine checks, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just healing a flat 5.
Mhm.
All right.
We'll get a proper diagnosis later.
Feeling better already.
So you get stimmed, and you're watching as this is going on. The stormtroopers are coming in through the door now. They've cleared most of the big obstacle out of the way, and you see 2 stormtroopers pushing in. Behind that, you see a stormtrooper sergeant, and this is an actual sergeant, not just another minion. So you see a 3rd stormtrooper coming in behind that, and they're
We
pushing
got
in.
ourselves a proper little squad.
At this point, we're all rolling initiative.
All right. So since we know they're coming, would that be a cool?
Yeah, that's cool or vigilance, your choice.
All right. Well, it's the same for me either way. So
Nice.
it's
Nice.
cool, and
I got a 1.3.
Okay.
I got one. I got one even.
Oh, yeah, I was
You
going
got a
to
1.0.
start that.
2.
2. And final PC?
5.1.
What?
5.1. Wow. Okay.
Show off.
So it's currently 5 to 1.31.
Wonder who's going first.
That's the largest initiative that I've ever rolled, even with my character that has the ability to roll with knowledge warfare that has 4 dice.
Jeepers.
Okay, so we will have vigilance roll for this guy.
Let's hope that's not the only good roll today.
Oh,
I know how this works.
Okay, so we've got
right. Slack. If push comes to shove, and we have to fight the stormtroopers off the ship, we should probably get that slave into some sort of cover. Don't want them staking him. One of ours.
Can always put him back in one of the cages.
Would you want to be put back into a cage?
I mean, he's unconscious. Would you rather he wakes up in a bedroom, opens a door, and gets shot by a stormtrooper, or is trapped in a cage he can't get out of?
I'd rather him wake up in not in chain.
I'll have a look, see where I can put him.
Anywhere that isn't like the boarding ramp. Did we close the hatch at the time?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's an elevator that when you take it down, it's closed.
Ah, okay.
If I go over to the galley, would I be able to tell that would this door be lockable
Which one, sorry? Let me just...
in the galley?
Door. I'd say that's probably more of an archway than a door.
Yeah, I was thinking just lock him in the crew quarters.
Oh wait, would this have a lockable door here?
Could be. I don't know.
It
Like,
looks like a closet.
Yeah, a closet like that, you're going to be able to seal off.
Alright, let's go in the closet.
After all, this is a slaver's ship, so there's probably going to be locks on a lot of stuff.
I'll wait till the start of the turn before I do anything. Oh, so what we're doing?
We're gonna have
for
to go through this ship
distance
at some
wise?
point.
Sorry, got quite a lot of rolls to make here.
Nice. I forget what the scale was last time. Because I remember Nori was up here and he was able to get to like the end of the stairs in
How
one
people
minute.
like got to there is nowhere in the first move.
Yeah.
I know I made this in 2 turns.
Yeah.
And that's 29. So are we saying? So do you want to say that's 30 and make it that like long as 15? Or medium as 15? Since I took that in 2 turns.
That sounds right.
I'll give you a thing in just a sec. Right.
No worries.
Cool, that'll do for now. Okay. Right, so Rangers. What shall we say? Short range will probably be around about. What do we think? About 20 for short range, maybe 15. 15 looks good, I think.
Yeah, I think 15 is much closer to what we had before.
Cool.
yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so let's go 15.
So
for
15 short. Okay.
Though I would suggest the first PC to go would be our gun.
That's what I was thinking.
Nah, we'll make him last PC. Based on those rules. My favourite's going to be the 3 NPCs in a row.
Yeah.
Okay,
That'd be
so you
Alright.
guys have a one dorsal and one ventral turret to utilize here. You're not going to be able to use the now which way round is it? Dorsals on the top and ventrals on the bottom, I think. Either way,
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to use the bottom turret until you've taken off because there's legs and stuff underneath the ship and some shipping crates. So
Yeah, not to mention right now they're above it. They're above that.
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah, just for as they start moving around.
Mhm.
But when you take off, then you'll probably be wanting to utilize the ventral turret more than the dorsal, I'd imagine. Now, using these will be starship weapons, so this entire area here is considered close range with this weapon. And do you want to take down the stats for this quickly? It's skill gunnery, range close, and damage 6.
Alright, well, I've got 3 green in gunnery So, and if I'm at close range with 6 starship rated damage, that could probably knock them out, assuming I hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll go first and take a shot.
Sure. So you're
can do it.
aiming at the stormtroopers at the front here?
I'm just aiming into the group.
Cool. So that's going to be a short range, so easy difficulty. So 1 purple dice. And
All right.
your gunnery skill.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a setback dice on this because you're having to be quite precise here with the gun.
All right. Well, JD, let's hope I can actually hit something with a gun this time.
You can do it.
Rolling. 3
Yay.
success, 1 threat.
Nice. Okay, so the threat's
So-
going to be that the stormtrooper sergeant's going to dive back into cover a bit
Yeah.
more.
So, as the stormtroopers walk in their typical mooks go first formation,
Yeah.
Thrar's going to kind of adjust the turret so he can get the stormtroopers without nicking the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and he opens fire straight into the middle of them,
Nice.
and he's able to hit, say, I guess like the ground around them. Would that count as like explosive damage for them?
You won't get explosive, but this you're essentially firing multiple shots here. So you can hit multiple stormtroopers here. So
Yeah.
let me just remind myself, how does starship weaponry damage work when it comes to
Essentially, it goes in
Okay.
tens.
tens? Okay, so with a base damage of 6 and 3 successes, was it? That's 90
Yep.
damage.
So they're disintegrated.
Yeah. So these 3 are just wiped out. But that's not going to pose them that much of a problem because we've now got an NPC turn, at which point you see another group of mooks rushing in, and the stormtrooper sergeant's there going like, "They're in the ship, blast them!
Stop that ship! Blast them!
They're getting away!" Absolutely.
I guess as an incidental, Zara's gonna put on one of the little intercom headsets for talking to the bridge and says, "Check for anti-personnel cannons." Because like the Falcon had those. Wouldn't it make sense for a slaver ship to have something similar?
Maybe. You can by all means have a look around. Right.
There would probably be something up in the cockpit to swap those on.
Cool. So that's your turn. I'm guessing you're not taking a maneuver because you're staying up in the turret.
Exactly.
We've had the stormtroopers run in, so we're now on the second PC slot.
Slack, do you want to keep moving the slave, or do you want me to go do something?
Since I'm just removing the slave, I'll let you do the important stuff first. Then I'll go
Okay.
last.
All right. As an action, could I make sure the security droid is deactivated?
Yeah, you can take a look at him and with your knowledge of droids, it's a simple task to knock him out. So
Yeah, I want to make
no roll for that.
him out. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So he's knocked out.
So I want to do. Yep, I want to do that, and then I want to move. I can't click on my measurement stick, but I want to head towards the cockpit.
Using you can use tab, and you'll get to about here.
I was wondering what the ping button was. I'd
Yeah.
forgotten.
It's tab, and then if you hold tab, you can drag it for a ruler.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh.
Sweet.
Cool.
So yeah, you get that. Another NPC turn. You see another bunch of stormtroopers pushing through into the area here.
I know where this is going.
Then
It's just gonna be like a whole platoon outside ready to take us out.
This is coming in 3 at a time.
there's a 2 more NPCs turns in this group here. What you see is a side door, a little maintenance door to the hangar here, and you see it's pretty much only single file. You see a stormtrooper come out here, but you get the impression that there might be a couple more behind him. And then the final one you see is you see the give me just a second here.
Well, I just know that this security droid by the control room, he's scrap.
You see an Imperial naval officer at the back here, who you get the impression he was probably the pilot from the Lambda shuttle earlier, and they're just throwing everything they can at you guys. And they're pushing in. So we're now up to our 3rd PC slot.
Third PC?
Personally, I'd have Nori do his thing in as the pilot.
Oh, okay,
But-
that's the plan. Like I say, I'll go last.
Well,
since I'm just going to
Yeah, how are we in terms of fuel right now?
So fuel's creeping up slowly. You would know, as someone who's dealt with starships before, that starships have 3 kinds of power that they use. They've got repulsor lifts, which are generally for maneuvering and moving slowly around on planet that aren't really major engines, and that's how ships float, and that's how you take off before engaging your sublight engines. Your sublight engines are what take the fuel, and that's what you're going to need to power the ship moving around once you get to significant distances, like traveling off planet. And then you've got your hyperdrive, which takes you into hyperspace and has your long range travel. You're aware
Which we
that
don't have currently.
you don't have the hypermatter reactor igniter for the primary hyperdrive. So that knocks out the primary hyperdrive for the ship. It still does, you're saying, have a backup hyperdrive, which I'll check the stats, but it's going to be something like a class 15 hyperdrive. So
Yeah, which is
not very useful.
basically
for much.
would get us to a nearby system in like a year.
Yeah, you're looking at crossing a sector in about like 2.5 months. So
Yeah.
it's a slow crawl. But you're aware that you can lift off on repulsor power, no problem. But you need to keep those fuel lines attached, because that's how you're going to fuel your sublight engines, which you need.
So basically, we're going to be on an umbilical cord for.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Nori comes to the guys and goes, "Right, I can get her into the air, but we're going to need that fuel, so I can't detach us just yet. And if they start shooting at the fuel line, we go boom."
We're gonna go boom either way.
Well, right now there's more chance of us going boom if we're in the air with a fuel line attached rather than on the ground because they can get to us right now. But if we're in the air, they have no reason not to start.
You cut out.
So, yeah, if we get into the air and they can't get onto the ship on foot, they have no reason not to start shooting at the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest that we stay down for the time being, and I will see what I can do from here.
Cool. So that's probably all you've really got time to say at this point.
The engines are facing this, right?
They are,
like-
yeah.
Here and like here, probably.
Yeah, they'll have a slightly
I
smaller
want to-
angle than that, but
Yeah, I want to power on the engines to give us quick bursts and maybe burn them.
sure. Okay. So you're aware that you probably want to maneuver the ship slightly first, because you can
Yeah.
use your repulsor lift to rotate the ship.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Cool. So that it's probably going to have an angle of something like this. So you rotate the ship like maybe 15, 30 degrees, that kind of thing. So it's pointing at the stormtroopers. And this turn you can start warming the engines up.
That's what I'm going to do, yeah.
Nice one. We got one more NPC group. So you will see... you don't see anything at this stage. Final PC, and then we're back to the top of the round.
All right. Keep fooling around with the guy.
So it's going?
Slack.
Oh, I thought it was the MC turn. Alright, in that case, I'm just gonna move over. I'll take both. Wait, short's 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically short. I'll take 2 turns and like just go over to the slaver and just be ready to pick him up next turn.
Okay, so you're taking your movement and then your action as further movement.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, top of the round. At the start of the round, Nori, you see the fuel gauge increments by an amount. So you're probably looking at, we'll say, for the purposes of this, you're probably going to have to hold off about 5 rounds worth of combat if you want to be able to get to space. If you want to be able to get somewhere else on planet, you might have to hold out for, say, 2 or 3 rounds of combat.
Yeah, Nori is going to hold out for 2 rounds. What is essentially what he's thinking is that they can go and hide in the desert and then get fuel on foot, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, like
Okay.
find a Jawa camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, am I in position to do that blast of the engine?
Yeah, so at this stage, if you want to take your turn as the second NPC, the second PC slot,
The second PC?
the
That's
first
probably one of
PC
them.
slot, then absolutely rotate the ship and you can blast the engines.
That's what I'm going to do.
Cool.
Yeah, Nori's going to come over the comms and goes, brace yourselves, this might give us a slight jolt.
Mm-hmm. So we'll get the Falcon model for this. So you rotate the let's scale it down just a tad. So you rotate the ship about to this kind of an angle, and roll me a, we'll say it's a starship, so piloting space. Just an easy check to see how precise you are with the maneuvering here.
That's 1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay, cool. So nothing catastrophic's gonna happen, but you are firing up sublight engines in an enclosed space, so the ship does jolt forward, and it's gonna slam against the edge of the landing bay here, and kind of bounce off slightly. I should get you some stats for the ship, because. So we've got a hull trauma threshold of 22 on this ship, a defense 1, armor 3. So this is probably going to take 3 or 4 points of hull trauma damage here, slamming against the side of the landing bay. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, at least it's just the forks, right?
Yeah, it's just it's not the kind of damage that is gonna necessarily disable the ship, but it might start to impact the armor on the front, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we can buff that out, and we're not going to space anytime soon, so we don't really need to worry about keeping the bubble in.
So let's get this out of the way.
So, from that little burst, what happens with the troopers?
Yeah, so these 3 here, they're just incinerated. The rest are kind of partially shielded by their bodies, but are pushed back through the doorway to kind of get themselves out of the blast here. So that's another squad down. NPC turn. You see these 3 stormtroopers rush in this way. They can, they're gonna try and get up to this would that be a ramp?
No, that's not a ramp on this diagram.
That's probably a docking
elevator.
port, and then
Yeah.
there's a ramp on this side. Cool. So they're gonna rush over here and see whether they can start accessing the external controls and see whether they can get the freight ramp open. And that will be what kind of a check will that be? That will be an intellect-based check, won't it? Okay. This is going to probably be a hard check. So.
The darn button keeps moving.
Oh yeah, let's add a couple of setbacks because the ship is not stationary.
Yep.
Okay, you see the guy at the front. He's kind of grabbing onto the ship to steady himself while Nori's manoeuvring the ship, and he just gets thrown across the courtyard here. The other 2 are kind of dive out the way there. This guy's in bad shape. He's out of the fight.
Yeah, because just for everybody at home, keep in mind, Stormtrooper armor was meant to dissipate low-level blaster fire. It does nothing against concussive force.
Yeah.
Which is how the Ewoks were able to win with rocks. The armor just wasn't designed to stop it. That is literally the in-lore explanation.
Excellent. So, next PC slot.
All right. I guess would this group here be out of close range, or is that still close range?
No, it's definitely still close range on Starship scale.
All right, so Thar is going to readjust his aim, and with the same roll as before.
Sure. Yeah. So same roll. Are you? It is a Starship weapon, but you're still gonna have to be quite precise here. So add a setback die, and which group are you targeting here? Are you trying to take out the stormtroopers or the sergeant at the front?
I'm thinking kind of aim for more towards the sergeant, but if I hit a couple of the smaller troopers, that's fine.
Sure.
So, oh, come on, please be good. 2
Nice.
success, no advantage.
That is fine. So yeah, another couple of shots. Very loud in an enclosed space like this. Blast out. The sergeant. Yeah, he's just decimated here. And let's say for the purposes of this, you take out 2 of the stormtroopers as well.
Yeah, not like it'll matter because I expect that this is going to be like just an infinitely spawning until we are able to get out of here. But I bought us some time.
You're aware that the in Mos Shutter, there were some stormtroopers patrolling the streets, and there were the group that you saw coming off the Lambda shuttle. But generally, it's a hut run town, so you're not gonna have infinite stormtroopers, but you might start getting some Gamorreans maybe, or that kind of stuff.
And then the merchants, and then the dancing.
And then the women
And then
the
huts
children.
themselves.
So NPCs, we got 3 on the trot here. You see this guy. He kind of he knows better than to retreat, but he also very much wants to get out of the range of that laser cannon there, and so he's just gonna dive off the edge here, and he will. How far is that fool gonna be? Yeah, he's probably gonna have to make an athletics check there. So.
Yeah. My guess is a 1 half-broken stormtrooper.
Pretty much.
He landed on a pile of rocks.
Charlie Brown would be mortified. Rocks are his mortal enemy, after all. And don't mind me fiddling with these used-up tokens. It's just for my own weirdness.
So yeah, he looks a bit beaten up, but he's not in the direct line of fire. You're gonna have to pick him or someone else now.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be in the direct line of fire, but he is probably going to be in the in range of the engines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting choice. He's like a lot of his squads just, get injured by the flames and then runs closer to the engine.
These stormtroopers aren't particularly smart. So you see the Imperial naval officer stick out his arm and yell something, and another group of stormtroopers runs in, and then he also he kind of ducks behind out of view slightly. And
like, get in there, you mooks!
Exactly. And then you see another stormtrooper sergeant run up behind. And you see these stormtroopers at the front readying their blasters.
Yeah, because small arms fire is going to do wonders against a starship.
Or an engine.
Okay, it could actually do something against an engine.
Yeah. Let's hope the engine goes first.
Yeah.
So, 3rd PC slot.
Okay, so I'll make my way to the cockpit here, right behind Nori, and I guess plug into the terminal.
Sure.
And I guess scan for shields and anti-personnel weapons and see what else the ship has.
Cool. So this is quite a rush thing. You're mid-combat here, so it's not going to be a full scan. But what you do see is you have the controls to adjust the deflector shields So that's
Okay.
immediately available to you if you want.
Yeah, so I definitely want to strengthen the back to cover the engines.
Cool.
And the and the in
the
the
lower
two,
half probably.
yeah, to like keep the fueling line safe.
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of in fact roll me a computers check.
Okay.
We'll say this is, what would this be? This is for like fine control of the shields, seeing whether you can get them to do more than normal. So I'm going to make this a daunting check. So that's 4.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
2 threat.
Oh,
So you can
Giving her all she's got.
you can move the shields around just fine, but you're not able to like concentrate them or create a little bubble around the fuel line specifically.
Okay.
Nice. So we got another NPC turn, and you, what are we gonna see? These guys went on the second turn. So yeah, you guys don't see anything for the moment with that NPC turn. So you got one more PC turn, which I believe is Slack.
yeah. Is this a wall here?
Um,
Can't really tell.
I think yeah,
That
it's a
looks
wall
like
up
a-
to about here. It's like a console thing.
All right.
So you could dive over the
yeah.
console, but you're probably gonna want to come around here.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
there's
I'm gonna.
the reason there's a door here and there's a door here, which is
Yeah.
there's a door here.
All right. I know what I'm gonna do then.
So I think there's a wall there.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pick
that makes
up
sense.
the.
So you can vent the freight chamber if need be.
I'm going to pick up the.
The weak way.
Yeah. Do I need to roll anything?
No, you can grab him.
All right.
And actually,
The
yeah, roll me
carry
an
hab.
athletics check, and will impact your movement distance this turn. So this is just going to be an easy athletics check. In fact, actually, you know what? We'll make it a normal athletics check. So 2 purples, but you can have a boost for being Trandoshan.
Here it is.
And it's begun. My first roll, and already getting a boost die. And the boost die did nothing to me. Okay, that's fun.
So what's
That's
that?
fun. One failure, one advantage.
Okay, so you're going to move at half speed this turn. Because
Okay, so I
you're,
can
you're
move,
like
like,
maneuvering him up
7.5.
onto your shoulder. So yeah, call it 8.
Alright. Can I make it? No. I'm just gonna go like carry him since I can only move 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just try and keep somewhat in cover.
Sure. Okay, top of the round.
Do you want to give another incineration blast, or should I give another volley?
Okay.
Nori.
Last time the incineration blast, the ship got damaged.
How are we looking in terms of the fuel?
Fuel has cranked up another notch. So you've probably got about 2 rounds left before you can safely get a reasonable distance on planet.
Okay. Yeah. No. Take them out with the blaster turret.
All right. So another roll. 0 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
So I take
Could
a
we-
shot. I take a shot towards the group here,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, instead of hitting a target, it kind of whizzes past them. They've kind of gotten wise to everything and have kind of hunkered down a bit.
Yeah.
But I guess with my advantage, can I give them like a penalty to their next movement turn?
Sure. Yeah. Um,
Sure.
it's,
I will make mention that you could have aimed for boost.
oh yeah.
You could have
Oh, I
aimed,
figured
yeah.
I already was aiming technically.
Well, you would have gotten boost.
A boost
That's
die
fine.
then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead. Roll the boost die. That's fine.
all right.
Just roll the boost manually. Yeah.
Okay.
Was it cheating? Oh.
Didn't do me any good.
Okay, so I think 2 advantage, wasn't it? So your shots, they go wide on the stormtroopers, but they like impact the platform here, and you're starting to do a little bit of structural damage to the platform itself at the front. So these stormtroopers are gonna have they're gonna be moving half speed through this area, trying to keep their footing.
All right.
Nice one.
And it looks like a new NPC has joined the battle.
Mm-hmm. So we have this group of stormtroopers, this sergeant, this naval officer, this guy,
This brave fool,
and yeah,
and these two guys over here.
So we start our NPC round with 3 more stormtroopers rushing in this way, and
Great.
they're moving in and around here, and that's about as far as they get this turn. Second NPC turn, these 3 guys at the front they pull out their blasters and they're aiming straight for the turret on the top, specifically trying to hit that weapon. So
All right. And for them, that's kind of a long shot.
yeah, it's not going to be. They
34.
have a range of long, so they can shoot a fair distance.
It's going to be about 34 and a half.
Cool. So that's in long range, because long is up to 45, I think we said.
We said that mid-range was like 20.
Yeah, so short range I think was 15, so medium 30, and then long is 45. So they are going to have a long range shot, which will be 3 difficulty die. In fact, no need to be rolling back here. So 3 difficulty die. And then we've got. That's right. Yeah, so. The ship, it's not maneuvered this round, so we'll say the ship's fairly stable at the moment. And yeah.
I don't know if this was intentional, but I found a teeny tiny little version of the map up here, up above the trash can.
Yeah, that's the one word stuff. Don't worry about it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 0 success, 0 advantage, straight wash. So yeah, these guys
Typical stormtrooper luck.
are ineffective. You're like, yeah, you won't have any external comms, but for cinematic effects, you see the camera on this shot's kind of panning in the side here, and the audience here, the stormtroopers being like, "We need to disable that turret." So NPC turn.
All right, next NPC turn.
Oh,
That
I
would
forgot
be.
to aim. Oh well.
I'm sure the sergeant and the officer have some kind of buffs they could give.
In terms of the, I'm taking a look through their stats, and they don't seem to actually be able to buff anyone. They've got tactical direction ability, which allows them to maneuver their compatriots, but beyond that. So who's up next? We're at the second NPC slot.
NPC or PC?
Sorry,
PC.
second PC
That would be either Nori or Vex.
or Slack.
Or
Nori is going to look over at Vex and he goes, Dark, can you patch me up?
Sure. Just
He's looking like he took. I think he took like a blaster.
Yeah, he's
okay.
4 away from going down.
okay. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
So yeah, you can go next, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would just be a simple matter, without even unplugging from the ship's computer, to just reach over and shove a stim pack into his neck or something.
Yeah, something like
probably.
that.
Absolutely.
Do you? I guess do you want me to take my action now to do that, or do you want to go ahead and kill some people?
Oh, they're still up there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's what I'll do then. I'll reverse us back a little bit, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hit it again.
All right.
So you kind of tilt the ship back on repulsor lift, and very much like a helicopter, it starts shifting backwards a bit, and then you slam on the sublight engines into probably not full thrust given the location, but a significant whack, and the engines flare out, and this guy is just hit him and the pile he's in just like are incinerated.
I'm gonna hope that there's nothing. Well, I mean, it won't even matter for us since we're leaving. So
Yeah,
okay, what's in them?
There. You see, these are what ion engines, aren't they? So they're gonna fry people, but they're probably not gonna do too much damage to structures and things. The ship will fly forward into the wall again. In fact, make me another piloting check. Just an easy
Same
one.
difficulty?
Yeah.
Two failures and two advantage. I
Okay.
didn't pass it.
That's fine. So yeah, the ship once again slams forward into the wall, kind of jarring everyone inside. You said 2 advantage, did you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's cosmetic damage to the ship, and you guys manage to steady yourselves inside. These guys are just gonna the front 2 of this stormtrooper unit are just gone, wiped out. So NPC slot, we got 3 in a row here, don't we? So first things first. The movie camera kind of pans round to the front of the ship as it's lurching around, and you see these 2 stormtroopers here trying to figure out what they're gonna do. We see a stormtrooper sergeant coming in this door here, and he's like, "Get that ramp open!" And
Well, considering that it's now kind of up in the air a bit more, that'll be a bit hard to do.
yeah. So this stormtrooper kind of like gets in position, and the other one kind of like one boosts the other up. And this is the stormtrooper sergeant's tactical direction ability. So he's spending a maneuver to direct one stormtrooper minion group within medium range, which I believe, yeah, they're within medium range, and that group may make an immediate free maneuver or add 1 boost die to the next check. Nice. So they're going to make the maneuver, which is the one guy getting in position and the other and kind of boosting the other guy up, and that's going to be an athletics check here. So we got 1 ability, 1 proficiency.
What's medium range again?
30.
Ah.
So this is going to be an average check, but why am I doing this in here? It's far more fun if everyone can see the rolls. So ability, proficiency, 2 difficulty, and one's trying to boost the other towards a moving ship. So I'm going to say this is a 2 setback dices, but I mean, yeah, that's good for now. Okay, 1 success, 2 threat. Yeah, that did count the one outside the thing. So you see one guy hanging off the well, you guys don't see this, but the audience see one guy hanging off the bottom of the ship, kind of grabbing onto a panel, and the other guy, he kind of loses his balance and falls on his ass. Second NPC group of this slot is these stormtroopers are going to go, and the guy hanging on is going to once again try and get in the access panel. This is going to be a computers check or a mechanics check. Okay, so
could I argue for a flip destiny point to make his check hard?
I was just about to flip the destiny point to increase his ability on the check. I believe we can both flip 1 destiny point. So if you guys want to, absolutely.
That's what I was wanting to get from these guys.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
sure, why not?
Okay.
They're there to be used.
That they are.
Okay,
So his difficulty goes from a purple to a red.
nice. So he's gonna have. So
And
how's
if he
this gonna
gets-
work? This is gonna be to override computers. If it was a static ship on the ground, it would probably be a hard check. So he's gonna have 3 difficulty here.
I would give him setbacks because
Yeah.
he's in movement.
Yeah, he's also like dangling onto
Yeah.
the ship.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard just to hack into computer systems, but he's dangling off the ship. So that's going to be... You move
Yeah, and
this
then
to-
one of his purples becomes a red.
Yeah.
So one
when he's
purple
got
becomes
fire.
a red. That's going to be a difficulty, goes to a challenge, and then one of his abilities goes to a proficiency. And that is... Did you flip both points or just yours?
I just flip 1.
Okay, so we'll flip 1 back. Because this is a pretty pivotal role, depending on whether they can get the ramp open.
That's a real shame that it wasn't a
1 failure.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Not a disaster, sorry. I wanted him to fall down and land on his compatriot.
Yeah, I was like, just like, can the reds stay the same?
Nice one. And then we've got one final group of NPCs, and this stormtrooper sergeant is gonna maneuver in. He's gonna run down. He'll probably get to about here. So he runs in here, and he kind of he directs this guy to run the other way. That's using his tactical direction again. So that's those 3 NPCs. So PC slot.
Okay.
So Vex or Slack?
Rex can go, then I'll go. I'll go last. I'll go last. I'm not moving a slave.
Okay. I think instead of stimming Nori, can I do a medical check with my healing kit to try to heal some wounds for him?
John, how would
Yeah.
you? What would you say? Is that something you can generally do mid-combat?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, as a maneuver?
Yeah.
No, it's an action.
Okay. So this will be your full action to do.
Yeah,
'Cause
usually
stim
whenever
packs
you
and
do
maneuvers, are they?
stim packs are incidentals. So he could stim pack me and heal me.
Cool.
It would just use the stim pack.
Mhm.
Because I'm reading for to do a medical check. If his current wounds equal more than half of his wound threshold, it's an average.
Yeah,
2
it is an
difficulty
average.
check.
Mhm.
So I want to try that before I do the stim, just to see how much better that is than a stim.
Cool.
So that's
Just be aware that if you use the stim and get him over his halfway wound threshold, it might make the medical check easier.
It would absolutely make it easier.
that is true. Okay.
So, a base stim pack would heal me for 5, and that would take me down to 6.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't. It would take me down to.
You're at 10 right now. It would take you
Yeah,
down
it
to
would take me
5.
down to 5. Yeah.
What was that?
Sorry about that.
My setup going absolutely nuts.
Oh,
Boop, boop, boop.
okay.
I think
Sliding.
Hey, who's like a robot?
A slow motion robot with a broken vocoder.
Oh
Bits
dear.
and characters, what I'm hearing.
it's kind of like those little things those little electronic things you could hold up to your throat and change your voice. Sounds a bit like one of those.
Whatever what sounds like.
Cool. Hopefully it sorts itself out soon.
Hopefully. Okay, so I'm in the cockpit and Nori's sitting there, so I guess I just kind of lean down to his tail and stim it.
Yeah.
And then kind of grab it with my medical hand and kind of start cleaning one of the wounds. So doing an additional wound is healed for my success, and then 4 advantages true strain, so you can remove up to 4 strain.
I don't have any strength currently, though. Thankfully enough.
Well, then I'm just massaging your tail.
It's a nice deal.
I could make many boots out of this.
So, moral of the story is drugs are better.
It's a message to take away from the kids is drugs are good.
Alright, so that's me.
You could heal strain with your advantage.
He doesn't have any.
Jen, this is on your.
Oh, I can reduce strain?
Yeah, with your advantage, you can spend it however you like.
Oh, okay. Then I'm massaging his tail, and I kind of like it.
Okay, it's getting creepy now. I know you're
It's
surrounded
like
by
eating a
lizards.
giant loaf of bread. It's very relaxing.
I know you're surrounded by lizards, Felix, but let's not get too far.
Alright. Has Rich fixed his microphone situation?
Not yet. Hopefully it's still understandable.
I wonder if that was
Barely.
a Discord issue.
Well, for sure, if there's a Discord issue, we'd all be hearing it. I mean, try hiding up and coming back in.
I think,
Yeah.
I think
Although that
it's
might make
my
some
internet
stream
because
audio.
your pings are jumping all over the place. In fact, yeah, let me just kill.
But I mean, you say that, but we're not I'm not getting any lag in terms of tabletop simulator, so I think it might be Discord.
Okay. Let me kill the stream quickly and kill the voice setup and open it up again, and then we'll
We're going to take like a 10-minute